Hallo, welkom op mijn kanaal. My name is Lorenzo and I will be teaching you Dutch. And what's a better point than to start with the alphabet? Before we start, you have to know that each language has its own code, and this is the writing style. So when we are able to decipher the alphabet itself, we will also be able to pronounce everything as a native will pronounce it. There is a small disclaimer, however. Each specific region has its own way of pronouncing words, and there's also the influence of dialects, of course. However, in this series, we are going to pronounce the words in a way that's more general and that will be more understood by everyone. So people from the Netherlands will be able to understand you if you pronounce the words and the sounds in the way I do, and also people from Belgium, of course. So let's start with the vowels. We can differentiate between long and short vowels, and there are specific rules when it comes to long and short vowels. There is a specific spelling rule which I will discuss in a later video. Let's only focus on the pronunciation for now. So we have a short and a long pronunciation. When it comes to the vowels, A would be the short pronunciation and A would be the long pronunciation. E would be the short E, while E would be the long pronunciation. O, O, E would be the short pronunciation. U would be the long pronunciation. When it comes to U, I see from my students that there is often some difficulty, so I really would recommend that you would try to focus on this one specifically and also record yourself while training yourself on mastering this sound. Because as we will see in the later video, there are vowel combinations which will be pretty hard to master, and there might be confusion between the long U sound and some other sounds. So be careful with this one. E would be the short pronunciation of the I, and a long pronunciation would be E, but this is a vowel combination which will also be discussed later. Then to go to the normal alphabet as we know it, as we have seen, there is the A sound, then we have the B sound, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, A, Z. So just a small disclaimer when it comes to the R, depending on the people, you might hear a different pronunciation of the R sound. People from the Netherlands tend to make it softer, so you might hear the word word more, while other people might pronounce it as woord, or tend for the French R, woord. This will not cause any confusion because for all these sounds, we will code it as the letter R. Just try to focus on these specific words, letters. There's also some specifications when it comes to the sounds and reading the alphabet, such as combinations of consonants. So we have the CH, which would become a G sound. So we would pronounce the words echo. Then we also have a SCH. This can be SG or S sound. So this depends on where the SCH is placed in the word. We would, for example, have Belgisch of Belgische. This SCH comes at the end of the word and would cause an S sound to be pronounced. In other occasions, the SCH sound being at the start of the word, for example, would cause a sh sound. Schuur. The C would be pronounced as a K or an S, so very similar to English, context, or efficient. The Q sound would be just the regular K sound. Then we also have a small thing when it comes to the E and the I. So as you could see from the vowels, we would regularly pronounce it as A and E. However, when the stress is put on another part of the words, we will have a doffe A or E. What does this mean? That the sound of this vowel will be A. So, for example, the coming words includes both a doffe A and E. Gezellig. So we would have ge, ze, where the emphasis is put, lig, gezellig. So, depending on your own linguistic background, you might find some difficulties in pronunciation. I've summed up some of the sounds that might be hard and where I see the most difficulties among my students. So I see, for example, among my Egyptian students that the B and the P are hard to differentiate. So in that case, really try to focus on these sounds, as a mispronunciation might actually create an other existing word. So we have, for example, the word boss, which means bass, and we have the word pas, which would mean step. Then we also have a confusion between the g and the h sound. So we have, for example, geel, which means yellow, and heel, which means very. Then we also find a confusion between the f, v, and w sound. So some native speakers from the Netherlands will pronounce the w as a v. This is something you might hear and which might confuse you while you are studying the language. However, the most correct form of pronunciation is to really differentiate between those, as this might also create some confusion between the meaning of some words. So when you talk, try to differentiate between the f from fel, v from vel, and the w from well. So fel, vel, well. This brings us to the end of this video. So for now I won't bombard you with more information, as this might be a lot to process. Just be conscious that there's more to follow. So we have vowel combinations, which is not included in this video yet. There will be an upload soon talking about these vowel combinations, where we are going to discuss each one of them. In the meantime, I recommend you to go over these sounds we saw today and to record yourself while pronouncing these sounds. Maybe try to find an article online, read it aloud, record yourself, and self-evaluate. Try to mark where you are having difficulties with, and try to focus on these sounds specifically. If you notice, for example, the B and the P sound are being hard for you to differentiate, be sure to focus on these ones. No need to focus on the D sound if you master this. So yeah, this is it for now. There will also be an upload in Arabic soon. And be sure to subscribe, maybe leave some comments to give me some feedback on how to improve the content. This is also the first time I'm doing this online and through video format. And I appreciate you watching, and see you next time.